Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you find yourself in this weird, wild, wacky world of ours, and welcome to the exciting installment of Darkness in Dublin. You know, it's funny. When you were alive, when your heart beat, and when you knew that there was the possibility of you seeing the sun tomorrow, running used to give you joy because you used to be able to feel physically good after you were done with the exertions of a morning run. However, now, that's rather different when you're running for what you feel is your existence, pounding the pavement so quickly as the celerity granted to you by your undead state lends you speed beyond speed. But you needed to run. You needed to be out. Every single doorway held a shadow, and every single pane of glass a leering face. The bell tolled, and it tolled for you. You could feel Death's hand as subtly on your shoulder as if he stood right beside you. So Emily ran from the city that night, running blindly. It didn't matter where she went, really. It just mattered that she ran. It didn't matter where she could go. It just mattered that she was out of here. The city eventually melts around you until you are surrounded by countryside, till you are surrounded by nature, at which point, blessedly, the feeling will abate. You feel it leave you. You feel almost as if you have slooshed off a cloak that covered your shoulders in a pattern of death. And now you stand amidst the countryside, the cool air on your face of the pre-dawn. Dawn itself is about an hour away, give or take.
Emily is still panicking, standing in the dress that she really doesn't like this sort of clothing. She was having a fairly, well, pressured evening, but this just does not help. She's gonna look around, see if there's anywhere she can stay. She's obviously panicking.
All right. Well, immediately, that part of your brain that can rationalize thinks you should probably find shelter. Dawn is not far away. You can think tomorrow, but now you need to find somewhere to rest.
Yeah. Any houses, any farmhouses, anything. If there isn't anything, she is going to contemplate digging a hole, essentially.
There is indeed, as I said, you see off in the distance a apparently disused derelict barn.
Hmm. She is going to run over there and just look inside.
There is nothing in there. It's
Then
dark and it's
she will have a look. She'll begin to look around. Just makeshift, move as many things over to a corner so she can be as shielded from sunlight as possible.
all right. My. How quickly you can run. I have to say, I'm impressed.
She just stops, freezes.
This figure is standing now in the doorway. You see he's standing in a pillar of smoky darkness that he's just stepped out of. It appears to be dissipating like smoke raising around him.
Yeah, I'm full of surprises. God, that sounds corny. As she just contemplates who she's talking to, she just looks at him. Look, I wanted to save that guy. I really don't want anything to do with politics. Okay, I just look. I'm just gonna. I didn't know this was your place. I'm just gonna leave, and I'm gonna find my own spot to rest. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm really sorry to barge in here.
Hey Emily, make me a willpower roll, please.
God damn it. Okay. Rolls. There we are. Why is that in the top?
How much does Emily weigh?
She weighs like she's built fairly big, so she weighs a bit more than it's not kilos you calculate in, right? It's
I can
How
do
is
it.
okay? She weighs about 70, 80 kilos. Like she's big. Like she would weigh
Okay, cool.
a bit more, like ish thereabouts. I mean, from the picture you can see that she's.
Wowzers. I was impressed with that roll.
And it's yours. Well, the dice roller seems to also be impressed because I can't roll. So
I
like,
think that there's not meant to be hang on. There's not meant to be a space between the row. Hang on, is there? Just
it
oh,
wasn't
you're not meant to
yours.
write. You're just meant to do slash or. I think. Just copy and paste my one above and put your dice pool in. Might work.
There we go. Wow, that's actually a pretty good roll.
That is minus that. 1, 2, 3,
5.
4, 5. Yeah. Okay. You almost resist. That was a painfully good roll to waste, unfortunately. Emily, as you attempt to turn to walk away, you find the fact that your feet are no longer touching the ground.
Let me. Okay, just let me down. Like I won't tell anyone. It's really fine. Like she quiets down.
You turn around in midair, sharp 180, incredibly quickly, almost quickly enough to give you whiplash. Like, interesting. You assume that I'm here for politics, Miss Stevenson.
I don't know why you're here, and I really don't want to be in your way. Like I'm gonna leave you alone. That's really much it. That's it. Um. So
My dear. He walks forward. For the record, you can still move your arms and legs. You're just suspended in midair. Such a pretty face that doesn't even know the value of what it is. We shall show it, I think. Yes, we shall show it what its worth is. Let me ask you a question, Miss Stevenson. Have you not hated the world since it was that cruelly your life was taken from you by the machinations of fate?
she's not gonna say anything. She's just looking at him.
What's her aura look like?
A mixture of uh, well, uncontrollable dread, anger, and confusion. But that's probably very, very, very like it's almost like very, very faint compared to the two others.
Indeed. It was dark that night, wasn't it? When it was they took from you what was yours by right of being human. Your heartbeat, your breath. They stole those things from you. I contemplate something, Miss Stevenson. Wouldn't you like to go back to normal? To be as you were once? No more of these strings. No more politics. Just to be you again. To live your ordinary life. Walk in the sun. Never care about what it was, as if this was just a bad dream.
You know the answer. I honestly don't know why you would ask questions that you know the answer to. But
Because my knowing the answer in advance does not stop the power of you answering the question. Because though you think it, though you ponder it, though you keep it close to you and hug it to your breast at night, have you ever truly said what it is that you want out loud so the world can hear it? Have you exalted it to heaven, as it were?
no. But
Why?
well, because it doesn't matter. What happens happened. Whether I want it to be different doesn't really change it. I'm here now and I have to deal with it. And
What?
whatever you're
Hmm.
going to offer me is probably going to have to involve me torturing, killing, doing various other things I really don't want to do.
My dear Miss Stevenson, you assume so very much and yet know so very little.
I quote you as saying, "You can go if you let me torture and experiment on the weak blood," or whatever that you call Tanner. Yeah,
Thin blood is the correct term.
well, I know. Like, I got a pretty clear picture of what you're all about. So, yeah.
Why is it that you value him more than you value yourself?
Because he helped me when he didn't have to. When things were darkest, he was actually, well, kind of nice. Almost. Well, nicer than anyone else. So at least I owed him to save him. Well, try to.
My dear, dear Miss Stevenson, he's piloted by his own greed, the same as you are. Some are just better at hiding it than others. Nobility died a long time ago in this fetid world.
But maybe I'm trying to bring it back. Maybe I'm not as greedy as you think I am.
So you, the pawn of creation, fate's plaything, deign to defy the machinations and the will of the cosmos simply because why? Because you think that you are better, because you think you are more noble.
Not that I am, but I'm trying to be. I've been held down and been. I'm not going to say that it speaks well of my character, but every time I'm beat down, I feel that it's more important to fight back towards it and just become stronger for it. And that's what I've been doing.
Very well then, a trade. Your friend Tanner. You know I can find him easily. If you value him so much. He holds out a hand, and as he does so, a small vial appears in his hand. He'll say, "Drink this, and I promise you, I swear at blood contract and covenant sworn, that I will never hurt him."
Yeah. Drink this potion from the person who wants to bring in whatever the fuck it was that manifested in that room to destroy everyone and everything in this world. Just take it and drink this. That will be fine. Yeah. Yeah.
Stevenson,
No thanks.
I think you're laboring under a false impression. I have no wish to destroy the world. Quite the opposite, actually. I merely seek to complete the grand work of one of our founders.
Founders.
Yes. Did they never tell you about the antediluvians who birthed the clans? Of Absalmiliad, of Saulot, of the many others?
No. Thanks to the people you described before, I was bashed over the head, killed, and had to dig myself out of a hole. I spent the next couple of months in perpetual fear and told to go there, go there, go there, and then things went apeshit. I hid and kept to myself for over a year and a half, not knowing anything other than I was constantly hungry, but I could manage. And suddenly there was all of this political upheaval again, and now I'm here. I
Allow
have no
me
idea
then,
what you're talking about.
I will give you a basic education. All of the clans were founded from Cain. However, Cain was not the one who, shall we say, gave unto you your gifts. No, no. Those were the grandchildren of Cain, the third generation from his blood. Each one of them went to found a clan. Some of their names have been lost to history. Some of them are still feared. Have they ever spoken to you of the week of nightmares?
I remember that there was a lot of talking about Cain back in the day, but about how good he was and great he was, and he was essentially God and stuff. But
That is
uh,
because that is because the Sabbat worship Cain.
yeah, I gathered as much.
But that is neither here nor in fact there. Ultimately, quite simply put, each one of the antediluvians walked this earth and birthed one of the clans from them. There was one, possibly the wisest of them all, who had grand theories, grand notions indeed. They called him the Corpse King, Cappadocius, the Lord of the Dead. Cappadocius, do you know what happens when you diablerize another entity of the blood?
Emily looks very guilty. Well, she doesn't. She tries to just. She just sits there and just says like, "No,
You drink into yourself their soul.
I don't know anything about that."
My, you've committed Amaranth. How
No,
interesting.
no, I haven't.
As your aura just goes all kinds of fucked up.
Yeah. Like, like, let's just like in this situation, she's not gonna be able to hide it. So, yeah.
You drank that being's soul into yourself. You destroyed it in the furnace of your own creation.
I was told what to do, and I didn't know where I was and how I was, and instinct took over. Let's say. Doesn't mean I'm happy about it. No. Do I wish that it hadn't happened? Yeah. But I suppose you could say I know. Yeah, I do know.
But Cappadocius thought, in his wisdom, what would happen if one of us, who were created as the sin of man, who were created because of the defied will of God, were to be powerful enough to ascend to his heaven and take the essence of the Almighty into ourselves, to diablerize God?
Well, we can only diabolize ourselves. As far as I
Oh,
know, I mean, that. Are you saying that God is? You
I'm
know how
saying that
crazy
God,
that sounds, right?
I'm well aware, my dear Miss Stevenson. However, many times I have read many books, and I've come to understand as I whisper to the dark exactly what the dark meant for us. With its power, anything is possible. With its power, I could restore you to your humanity if you chose it.
Just potentially what killing God. Yeah. That's not going to have any repercussions or side effects, obviously.
Why? He has long ago turned his face from the world, or have you not noticed how it is the world has ceased to care? That people writhe in their own bliss at the cost of all else, that humanity has become feculent, has become lost in the mire of its own sin. God stopped caring about this world a long time ago. Perhaps his successor will care more.
Well, depending on who that is.
I
Depending on.
give you this,
Sorry, go ahead.
I give you this chance, Emily Stevenson. If you come to serve me, I will restore your humanity to you. You can live, breathe, laugh, and love as you once did. This is the only time I will make you this offer.
Actually, give me one moment, because this is the strange and fascinating part out of character of of Emily. Part of her, what has driven her in life is actually fighting, essentially. She does
Mm-hmm.
enjoy it, and she does feel more powerful than she ever did in her mortal life now. And
Mm-hmm.
a part of her is actually, this is what her beast grabs onto, is that, does she necessarily want to go back?
I mean, that's up to you.
That's the thing, and that's actually, but I'm thinking like he might be able to see that. Like, well, he wouldn't. He would see feelings,
Mm-hmm.
so he wouldn't be able to see that essentially. So, yeah, she's just gonna say, no, thanks. I can't say that certain parts of it is good, I suppose, but
A shame.
what happened happened, and I'll have to deal with it as I dealt with everything else.
You'll fall to the ground at this point, Emily. You've been suspended about 5 feet in the air, so you'll onto the ground at this point. As he'll simply say, "A great shame."
Maybe I don't want my
Very well.
humanity restored.
It's not to end. I beg your pardon?
She will just say, well, maybe it's the fact that I don't necessarily want my humanity restored.
Then that is something you need to discover for yourself, Miss Stevenson. However, if you change your mind, I am amenable to speak on the matter. As you look over the horizon, Emily, you are so tired at this point. You
Does he
see the little.
show to maybe also be affected?
I was just about to get to that.
Oh, okay,
You
sorry.
see the sun. You see the sun start to lip over the horizon. Would you like to roll me to stay awake?
I would. That is stamina and fortitude?
I think it's your path rating, isn't it? I could have sworn it was your path rating.
Oh, right. Yeah, it might. I think you're right.
So roll me your path rating. It's going to be difficulty 6.
I have 4 successes.
You can stay awake for the next, I think it's 4 rounds. About then you have to roll again at difficulty 7. So that's 6, 12, 18, 24. About 24 seconds. He will turn and he will say, "I will bid you good day, Miss Stevenson."
Right, right. As she blinks her eyes and just stands ready, but is obviously just looking for something that she can maybe support herself with, as she's getting really tired now.
Aishar turns his back on you at this point. You could jump, you could lunge at him.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm gonna have to roll something for. Well, what is her current blood?
Beg your pardon?
What is her current blood at?
What? I'm going to
I
assume
started
you
at
didn't
full,
really
but
hunt last night.
yeah, I started at somewhat like, I started at like 10, 11 yesterday, and I didn't use anything in scene.
Yeah, so you'll have 11 blood.
Um, she's gonna quickly just get a grasp of like what parts of the, like, just as a general thing, like what part of this barn will be like in direct sunlight.
Only the open door that Aishar is standing right in front of.
Oh, he's walking
In theory,
outside?
no, he just turned his back on you. In theory, you could body check him into the sun if you wanted.
Yeah, but I think Emily knows that jumping this guy is really fucking stupid because, again, she now knows that she has no idea what this guy is capable of. It just might be her getting body checked. She's just going to stand there, get ready to defend herself if that's needed, but she's
Okay.
going to watch him very closely as he leaves. But she's not gonna jump him, even though she's thinking of it.
You will see him turn and smile, showing elongated fangs, before Aishar happily and calmly walks out into the dawning sunlight.
That was a really good reason I didn't do that, because, yeah. Whew. Yeah, she just looks puzzled, and we'll stumble into the nest hole.
As he leaves, you'll see him turn. For the record, important point that I will make. Roll me perception alertness.
I'm going to spend a willpower on this, because
Okay.
life is, final death is pain. Perception, alertness or awareness? Sorry.
Alertness.
I can write the one thing, but I can't roll the other. God damn it. Oh, disregard that one. I do not have D19s. 2 successes.
That's 3 with the willpower.
Oh, 3, yeah.
As he walks outside, he leaves footprints on the ground. He is very much physically here, and he is standing in direct sunlight. It doesn't seem to be bothering him.
And he doesn't seem tired?
No. It's also not burning his skin or anything. He's not, like, attempting to hide himself.
Oh, god damn it, I know why. Oh, god. Really, really bad. Oh, god damn it. That's probably... Oh, shit. Okay, fair enough. That's bad. Okay. Yeah. Emily will just, as long as possible, just keep an eye out for him. Just defend
You will see him as he takes about 5 steps outside of the the barn. You will see him cloaked in a mantle of darkness, basically surrounding him like a plume of smoke before he will disappear.
Emily will sigh again, very, very. Actually, she's gonna roll again to stay awake, and she's gonna dig a hole. Begin to dig to make herself. Well, it's a difficulty 7. I still have 2 successes. She begins to dig to get as much shelter as possible.
All right, and on that note, we shall end our scene. So thank you, player, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another Scene in Darkness in Dublin. Have a pleasant evening.
Bye.